Hi there, everybody, and welcome back. I thought I had a little bit of time to kill, so I thought, well, why not? Let's do a live chat. Um, First of all, say if you're catching this on the replay, which I'm sure most of you will. Unfortunately, I didn't have the time to really plan this. I just had, like I said, I had a bit of spare time. And I thought, stuff it. Why not? Let's do it. Put some content out there for you to see. So, how have you all been? I said, I hope you've all been well. Um, I've been good, just plodding along, usual stuff, work, and sampling whiskies. Um, oh, we've got someone in here already. Um, let's see who you are. Yeah. Also, recently I was actually, I don't know if any of you follow my Instagram page at all, but yesterday I actually picked up Whiskey Straight. How are you, mate? Uh, yeah, I was able to pick up I was finally able to get my hands on a bottle of the Game of Thrones no, so not the Talisker, the Lagavulin 9-year-old. Oh, spot on. What a fantastic whiskey that is. But that's something to talk about for another time. Yeah, well, today I thought I would do the Johnnie Walker Island Green. That's it there with that nice, beautiful slanted label that we all recognize as the Johnnie Walker logo. Alright, time to pour some. Sorry, let me just check my connection. Yeah, okay, that should be fine. Hi, Alan. How are you, mate? I missed you in the last. Yeah, I missed you in the last chat. It's good to see you in for this one. How have you been? Okay, just a bit of water just to wet the throat a bit, cleanse the palate. Yeah, all right. I'm not going to go into too much of the specifics of this. To be honest, I personally haven't overly researched it too much myself. I will, when I get a chance, I'll definitely sit down, do a proper review of it, because I want to give it the justice that it deserves. This, let me see if I can get it into frame. No, you can't really see it too well once I put it down, but yeah, I'll just leave it there for now. Yeah, so I'll definitely give that a proper review once I get a chance. Find out what whiskies or what other distilleries have gone into making it. I'm fairly certain that Kaju is one of them, and possibly Isla for the peated the peat and the smoke in it. So far, and I've only just poured a little bit, not too much, and already just having it sit there in front of me, it's probably about 30 centimeters away from me, and you can nose this thing without even having to stick it in your face. It smells wonderful. Again, look at that nice, beautiful golden color as well. It's fantastic. Oh, let's give it a bit of a nose. Okay, that's on the nose. Sweet vanilla, and then as the vanilla fades, you'll kind of get like a waft of smoke that just follows through. coconut, which I'm not gonna say for certain, but I'm from whatever little experience that I've had so far, judging off of those notes alone, I'm going to assume that this has been aged in a bourbon cask. Stephen Davidson, how are you, mate? New dram, you made it. Oh, that's awesome. Actually, before I started this chat, I actually received a Twitter message from New Dram Drinker. He's a new whiskey tuber on the scene. So please, everybody, make him feel welcome. And he was actually asking me when will I be doing, when will my next stream be going on for whatever strange reason he liked my last video. So, man, you mustn't have anything better to do on I'm guessing it will be Wednesday in the UK at the moment. Wednesday night, I'm assuming. So I guess, yeah, for all of you who are in there, they've got nothing better to do but to listen to me rant on, will say thank you for the support. Alright, so again, like I mentioned before, to those just coming in, vanilla, caramel, and the smoke just follows through on that. This is not your typical Isla peat or smoke that's coming through. It is very mellow. Thanks, New Dram. But if you don't mind, since you're new, please introduce yourself to the group. I forgot to mention before, obviously, my name is Andrew. You see, you got Alan, the whiskey friend, in there at the moment as well. We all love to get to know each other, so yeah. What else comes through? Well, slightly medicinal. Yeah, that's right, Alan. I think we're all looking forward to seeing New Dram's content. There's a touch of like an iodine sea salt. Anthony, nice to meet you, mate. Cheers. This, it kind of has that feeling as if say you're sitting at the beach or the seaside somewhere and you get that light breeze coming in that just brings that gentle, that nice, gentle, salty sea air that comes to you. You know, when it's on a nice day, when you don't have that rotting seaweed stink coming through. Yeah. Just imagine that you're sitting at the beach, salty sea air, and eating a vanilla ice cream. Let's get onto the palate. Oh, that's delicious. Okay, so I don't know if any of you, so if you're familiar with the regular green label, the 15-year-old green label, I enjoy the peat in that. And if you are a peat head, say such as myself, then you are going to love this. I have to say the taste of the peat and the smoke is much stronger in this than the regular 15-year-old green label, and I think it's absolutely amazing. You've got a bit of a peppery spice coming in. Again, vanilla. It's a bit coconutty as well. Okay, so I'm finding that this has a bit of the same problem that I found when I did the video of that wild turkey long branch. You get these hit of flavors that come in, and then it's gone. And the end of the palate is very, it's almost very watered down. Not much of a mouthfeel to it. You'll sip it, you'll feel it, and then it's gone. There's really no lingering mouthfeel in there, unfortunately. But still, very tasty dram. I feel that Johnnie Walker have done a fantastic job on this whiskey. It's absolutely incredible. This is bottled at 43%, which is fantastic. Again, a big step up from their usual releases, which are pretty much always done at 40%. I'm not sure of any other whiskies in their range that are over 40%. I could be mistaken. I guess I just haven't paid all that much attention, to be honest. But yeah, one of the first things I noticed with this when I got the bottle was 43% ABV, and I was like, oh, fantastic. Johnnie Walker's released something with a little bit of extra kick into it. The finish, considering the palate kind of washes out very quickly. The palate lingers for, the finish lingers for quite a while. It's very pleasant. It doesn't attack you. It doesn't have like those typical, I guess, like if you consider an Isla malt, for example. Especially yesterday, I tried the Lagavulin 9-year-old for the first time. And the finish on that just constantly kept repeating. This is not like that at all. It's there long enough for you to notice it without you having all those like that typical whiskey breath that your partners aren't going to appreciate. So if you're going to have a whiskey probably before you go to bed, oh, that's probably a good one to go for. Damn, that was the last drop in that. What do you reckon? Shall I try it with a bit of water? Yeah, why not? I think I'll give it a go. Actually, I'm starting to get a bit of honey coming through on the finish as well. But let's see what we get once we add a touch of water to it. So just bear with me. I'm just going to pour a little bit more. That will do. So at the moment, what's going on in the chat? How have you guys all been? Like I said, I'll say, unfortunately, Alan, I've been a little bit slack with catching up on some of some of my subscriptions lately. I will be watching your Glengoyne video soon. I've got it lined up in my watch later playlist, so I will be getting around to that. I've been so slack with keeping up with some of the other YouTubers recently that I see them coming up and I just have to add them straight into the watch later folder and then just start binge watching, which is pretty good because then at least I get to keep watching just more whiskey videos. And that's always a good thing. New Dram, you asked what's my opinion on screw cap versus cork. New video out tomorrow. Awesome. I don't know if you remember this is probably going back about 3 weeks ago. I mentioned that I was very undecided about whether I should do that SMWS video or do my Glenfiddich set. Well, I did make the video for the SMWS review. I'm currently editing it at the moment. I'm about halfway through editing at the moment. I've just been so busy, so I'm hoping within the next few days I will have that SMWS review up and ready to go. And that's why in the meantime I've actually been doing a few of these live chats. It's actually given me a way to put out more content, and to be honest, I've actually really been enjoying making these live chats. They've been absolutely incredible to do. I didn't think that I would be comfortable to do them, but I have to say I actually enjoy them more than doing, say, like proper edited videos. Sorry, Anthony, and to come back to your question, screw cap versus cork. I am a traditionalist. I do love a cork. I do prefer it. To me, it just adds a bit of that extra finish and that like panache. Like I said, I'm a traditionalist, and I mean, how can you not like that sound, especially when you're popping open a brand new bottle and you just get that nice. It's always a great sound. But having said that, screw cap serves the same purpose. It keeps the whiskey in the bottle, so you can do this without it tipping out. All right, so I poured a little bit extra. I've added about two drops of water to this. Now let's see how it's going to go. Okay, so the nose has become sweeter. Thankfully, it hasn't been washed out. It's brought the peat and the iodine scent pretty much right to the forefront, and it's made the vanilla and the coconut kind of drop back a bit. So at the moment with water, I'm actually preferring I'm actually preferring the nose on this with water. Yeah, that's become really salty. Okay, now it's about a 50-50. Okay, so on the palate, the water has almost wiped it out, but it has intensified the spice and the peppery notes. Yeah, and then after that, the peat does come through a bit stronger, but not so much, like I said. So the nose benefits from water, but unfortunately on the palate, it's a wipeout. I personally, after trying it now, I personally would not add water to this again. I guess being 43%, and as we all know, Johnnie Walker's a blend. They've mixed everything perfectly together as it should be. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. And the finish is, I would say that the finish is still the same as how it was with the water. Let's finish this off. Put it to the side. Well, so let me pose a question. Guys, blended whiskies, what's your opinion? Are you for them or against them? It's always a big debate, because really, I guess if we want to get into the nitty gritty, well, I guess even single malts are technically a blend, although I guess they are blended whiskies all from the same distillery in comparison to, say, the Johnnie Walker, which is a mix of multiple distilleries. So what's your opinion? I'd like to hear your thoughts. What have we got? Yeah, so as long as I say the whiskey straight, so as long as the whiskey is good, I don't mind what it is. And mate, I absolutely agree. Um, to be honest, New Dram, in regards to that question, um, when I used to hear recordings of myself, say in home videos and whatnot, I hated the sound of my voice. Now, to be honest, when I go back and say listen to my YouTube videos, or when I'm going through the editing process, to be honest, it doesn't really bother me anymore. For me, I'm actually more focused on trying to put out the content that I want. So I kind of ignore that, and now I guess I kind of sound normal because my focus is on the actual project rather than the actual sound of my voice. As long as I feel that I'm speaking clearly and the audience is able to understand and hear what I'm trying to put across, I think that's all that matters. But we are always going to be somewhat critical of the way we sound, I guess, to a certain degree. Sorry, just have a bit of water. Throat's drying out a little bit. I'm talking too much. Okay. Now, coming back to this, I believe that this Island Green is actually a travel retail exclusive, and I've been fortunate. I'll have to say I was very lucky with this. I have a distant relative who had recently gone overseas, and they are not a fan of peated whiskey at all. This guy's a big fan of Macallan himself, so he does prefer those cleaner tastes. And I guess he probably didn't read the label properly on this, and didn't really realize what he was getting. That by getting a smoky whiskey, he was not gonna get what he liked. So he told me that he had it. He asked me if I wanted it. So yeah, I definitely took the opportunity, and I'm so glad that I did, because it is a fantastic whiskey. Um, yeah, so back to travel retail. What do you guys think? Do you think that they're worth it? I know for myself personally, I don't like the idea of having travel retail exclusive offerings. Uh, and for me, I like the whiskey to be accessible to everybody, and I think that's what whiskey and being able to share whiskey should be about, is the fact that it should be accessible to the majority of people. I mean, with the exception of price point, because that can be the biggest deterrent for, like, I know myself, and I'm sure a lot of people out there. There could be so many whiskies that you want to try, but unfortunately, you've got to think of your own budget at the end of the day, and whiskey can be, and not can be, it is an expensive hobby for us to get into. But having said that, as I mentioned before, I do wish that these whiskies were more accessible for general retail. Um, do I think that some of them can be quite overrated? I would say definitely, and that's due to my own experience. Um, I've tried at the moment four different travel retail exclusives. So far, one of them is obviously this Johnnie Walker, the Island Green. The Lafroig Four Oak, which I did a review on previously, and I was not a fan of that. Um, I was so excited to be able to buy that as a travel retail exclusive. I thought that I was going to be getting this like this major epiphany whiskey that was just gonna blow my mind. And that was probably the worst thing. I had high expectations, and when I popped the bottle, I was like, man, this is crap. What the hell have Lafroig done with this? But that's history now. I've got the bottle. It's almost finished. Not as finished as I would like it to be, but it's getting there. I've found ways to enjoy it, so that's a good thing. Um, I've also tried, was it the, what was the age expression of it? It was the Bamor, I can't remember if it was a Bamor 16 or 18. But that was actually done in a Pedro Jimenez cask, and that was fantastic. That's the type of whiskey that you wish you could just go to your local store and be able to pick it up and be like, all right, today I want this Bamor, because that was absolutely incredible. It was a peated sherry bomb. And if you love your sherry bombs, if you love your heavily peated whiskies, that was a match made in heaven. That was an incredible whiskey. Um, I, I'm trying to remember how it was. Like, just picture a nice smoke bomb with a fruit punch. You had all these like heavy smoky notes with like tinned peaches, um, dried fruits, and like very sweet fruits. And then I actually remembered afterwards it kind of had like a cognac finish that went through it. And this was an incredibly balanced whiskey, and just something that you wish was much more available. I guess I'm quite fortunate at the moment that my cousin actually has that bottle. When he went to New Zealand, he brought that back. So I guess whenever he's feeling generous, or if I ask for it, he'll be, "Yep, sure, no worries, cuz here you go, have some." So he's really good like that. He bought another one as well, but unfortunately at the moment I can't remember what that actual whiskey was. Guys, I think we're pushing the 30-minute mark. I think I'm gonna have to wrap it up soon. Um, Also, is there anything else you guys would like to talk about at all, or are there any travel retail expressions that you'd recommend for me to buy whenever I go overseas? Again, because I will definitely be keeping an eye out in those duty-free stores when I go, and as much as they annoy me, I will be looking at. Have I tried the Redbreast? No, I haven't. Unfortunately, in Sydney, Redbreast is quite hard to come by, and unfortunately, I haven't had a opportunity to try of any of the Redbreasts. So when I get a chance, I will. It is a whiskey that I really want to try. But yeah, unfortunately, I haven't gotten around. There is a couple of stores that I have seen it in, but unfortunately, it is quite expensive. I can't remember. Um, get over to the UK and I'll treat you to a dram. Man, that would be fantastic, Anthony. I would love that. Um, so you guys have no idea how much I would love to be able to, like, jump through the camera and just shake your hands, because uh, uh, I know one of the things that Roy Aquavite always goes on about is the fact that, as he calls it, his like a virtual pub or his V pub. We're able to communicate with each other like this, but to have that personal touch, to be able to meet you face to face and share a dram with you, that would be a dream come true and something that I really look forward to doing. So, for any of you, if you do, I mean, if I ever make it over to the UK, and hopefully I will definitely be trying to look you guys up. If you're willing to, maybe we could, I don't know how far away you all live to each other. I know the UK is a big place, but maybe there's a little pub hidden away somewhere that we can all meet up together and share a dram, because that would be incredible. I would love to experience that. And the same goes for if you guys ever decide to come over to Sydney, look me up, send me a DM or whatever, a comment in the videos, and if I am able to, I will certainly meet you. That it will be such a pleasure to put faces to names. I think that's, while I think about it, it's been probably what, about 10-15 minutes since I had that last sip of the whiskey. It continues to dry your throat. It's a very dry whiskey. Okay, sorry. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I can. I would love to keep this chat going, but I'm trying. I think I'm running out of things to talk about for now. Do we have any ideas? Is there any topics that you guys want to? Anything that you guys want to talk about? Would I buy this again? I would if I was able to actually get this for the same price that my cousin bought it for, which I think was about $60. If I can get it for the same price or close to it, I would certainly pick it up. Unfortunately, when I was I'll say a while ago, when I was looking up prices on it, it was quite expensive. I'm on the secondary market. I think it was already going for, I would say about 120 Australian dollars, and that is quite expensive. I wouldn't say that it's worth that much. Well, not to me anyway. At the $60 mark, definitely. I think it's a fantastic whiskey for your dollar on in that sense. But to spend over $100, definitely not. For that price point, you're going into Johnnie Walker Blue prices, and they're not a fan. What made me enter the world of YouTube? You guys. I started getting into whiskey. I started watching YouTube videos on whiskey reviews, whiskey antics, and I can thank the Modern Rogue for that, as I'm sure a lot of us can credit that as well, because I think without them, a lot of us actually would not know about the Whiskey Vault. That's how I found out about Rex and Daniel, and then from then on, I've been obsessed with the world of whiskytube. And I guess like everybody else, you start to think, well, I like whiskey. I would like to do my own reviews, and if people are willing to watch my videos and hear what I have to say, well, and even if that's one person that's willing to keep watching what I'm putting out, well, then I'll be more than happy to be putting out more content. I don't think it hurts to have too many opinions out there, because yeah, Vin is fantastic. He's full of sensational advice, and he's always willing to help you out. But yeah, I think the more opinions you have out there, the better. Because everybody's taste is different, but then you'll have a lot of people whose taste is the same. So you might be watching my videos and you start to realize, hey, our tastes are quite similar. What's Andrew drinking today that I haven't tried? And you'd be like, okay, you know what? I think, or say, Andrew enjoys that whiskey. I'm sure I will as well. Or vice versa. Andrew thinks this whiskey is shit. I'm not going to touch it. But I think everything is worth a try. I think technically there is no bad whiskey. There's only whiskey that we don't enjoy. So there's always going to be somebody else that likes something that we don't, and that's the fantastic thing about it. All our opinions are so subjective. All our opinions differ. Yeah, and it's just very good to have a variety of opinions out there. So is there anything else at all that you'd like to know? Because otherwise, I'll say I might take on maybe another 1 or 2 questions, and then I'll wrap it up. Let's see, what have we got in here? Sorry guys, it's going through the chat. Do I have a large whiskey collection? I recently counted, this is including a few mini bottles as well. I think I've got around 40 bottles, and I was surprised at that. To be honest, I didn't expect to have that many. And when I did a rough estimate, I was like, oh, these are building up a bit. I think maybe I should start getting through them. Definitely whiskey out. Australian whiskey is a major thing. I know in the UK, and I'll say unfortunately, due to the price, I have not been able to try as many of the Australian whiskies as I would like. And in saying not trying as many as I would like, I've only tried one distillery. And fortunately for you, in the UK are able to purchase Starward whiskey. I love Starward. They are an incredible distillery. I love their product. Unfortunately, they do kind of release a lot of the special edition, like short release expressions that unfortunately you can't always get a hold of. But their core line, they're absolutely incredible. They're actually aging them in ex-Australian wine casks. Obviously, all the barley used is Australian grown as well. So they're really doing good things in supporting the local industry, which is a great thing. There is a distillery actually that's known as the Jowaja distillery. That's about an hour and a half away from me. One day I've been wanting to go for so long, but trying to find the time to be able to go and to go to the distillery and visit them. I'm very restricted with my weekends. Yeah, Alan, the complexity in the Starward, man, it's incredible, and I'll have to put that down to our weather conditions. When you consider, say, like bourbon, for example, where especially in states like excuse me, in states like Texas where the climate is very hot, the maturation process. Sorry guys, I had a bit of a dropout there. Hopefully it didn't affect too much. But yeah, our whiskey matures very quick, and that I think is what helps with that intensity and flavor. All right, guys, mate. I'm going. I hate to say it, but I'm going to have to go. I'll talk to you all later, and mate, I hope you all have a fantastic day. I'll see you later. I'll see you on the next chat. Goodbye.